Happy Monday. We got MLK Day today. We got a ton of hoops midday, which is sweet. It's kind of, I don't, dude, midday hoops, JJ. I don't know about you. Dude, sometimes when there's like midday hoops, I feel like I just like watch hoops all day and like don't do anything.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen today
Yeah.
until the championship game come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, facts. Yeah, good day. Good day for sports. I guess I didn't even like, I forgot about that, dude. I've been like so tapped out of football, except
Oh
for
yeah,
watching Mark Andrews go crazy.
fuck Mark
Well, Mark
Andrews.
Andrews is going off, bro. Had a field day,
He can't show his face in Baltimore.
dude. And the funny part too is that Isaiah Likely was the one who like made that touchdown play,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just like he's like by far like the looked at as like the inferior tight end now. He's got to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of think. I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder what his like contract situation is. I mean, he's still like a fine player. I have Likely in Dynasty, so I wouldn't be opposed to Mark Andrews getting kicked out of Baltimore. Must say that would be fucking sweet. Uh, Shoto, how we doing? Tommaso, good morning for the second time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, dude. I like these 2-a-day things. Me and Liam came in. We're doing our little engagement farming lottos and shit. So we made a little lotto on Bet365, put a cool $10 on it, which, that ticket, if it wins, people are going to be like, bro, what the fuck? It won $100. Pussy. Beta. Not even putting money on it. But yeah. Made a little lotto. If you guys forgot the lotto, it was plus 1,135. It was Collier 10 assists and then Kyrie 30 points. And that's probably like a good segue, JJ, to get started with my first pick. I'm going Kyrie over 35.5 PRA, minus 106 at FanDuel. Let's quick check the odds on that. So you could do 24.5 points at FanDuel, minus 125. I really like that. There's a 34.5 PRA at DK, but the rest of it is 35.5. So tracking that stuff there. We're looking at without Luka this year. It hasn't been great. He's played OKC twice. He's played Denver twice. That was the first game off the injury. Denver puts Jokic at the level. Miami, which is a tough matchup for first options. Let's see. The Clippers, who are just really good at defense. I think they're like the second in defensive rating now. Houston, who is blitzing him, which is kind of weird for Houston, but they're also a great defensive team. So I feel like he just had like a ton of like really tough matchups. Like if we look at last year without Luka, not head to head. Last year without Luka, I mean, bro, look at this shit, JJ. Kyrie was fucking going stupid. Like
Yes,
41
he
PRA,
was.
52, 56, or 58, 38. So I feel like Kyrie is a little bit deflated without Luka. And if we look at his last game, obviously he came back from that back issue, which was pretty serious. Played 30 minutes, but then 39 minutes against OKC. I think that it's safe to say that there's no restrictions on Kyrie right now. And if we go to this, I really like the matchup with the Hornets, right? So if we go to pull-ups, which is Kyrie's main way of getting buckets, whether it's isolation or pick and roll stuff, pull-up jumpers. Hornets second highest shot frequency last 15 games from pull-ups. Most field goals attempted allowed from pull-ups. So they've been playing a ton of drop. I don't know if Kyrie's going to get straight drop, but that probably isn't the smartest idea. But they are more so a drop team and giving up a ton of pull-ups and stuff like that. They're also giving up a ton of catch and shoot stuff. If we go to this, which is why I kind of like assists. Fourth highest catch and shoot frequency, third most catch and shoot field goals made last 15. So I feel like he could get some assists too if they do get a little aggressive on him. Rebounds, they don't have Nick Richards anymore. Okay, I'm just saying shit. I like his minutes though. So I just decided to go PRA instead of points. What else is there to say about this? Oh, I faded Kyrie last MLK Day, and he literally, I'm not even kidding, he fucking went stupid. Yeah, I think it was this game. Yeah, it was this game. He had 42 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 56 PRA. Never fucking doing that again. So, yeah, dude. I don't know. I think that this Kyrie line is like, and it just dropped to 34.5 at FanDuel. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with this shit, but I genuinely, this is like a really good matchup, and I think that his like line, he's just had so many bad matchups in games without Luka. So I think it's like a nice buy low. Minutes are going to be good. You got any take on this?
I mean, just keep attacking the jump shooters against Charlotte, pretty much. Outside, I mean, I feel like it's just plain cut and dry there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they still do continue to play their drop coverage. I'm sure they'll probably the game plan just let him do his thing and maybe do their best to limit the other role players. Because I mean, outside of that, like they're not stopping any other like big time players.
No, no. Let's see. What have they been? Let's see. I guess they've been okay on defense. I don't know. I just don't like look at the Charlotte team and like to think that they're like a good defense.
Yeah,
I don't know who the hell they have, but yeah, that Kobe White shit that we had, dude, that shit was fucking bullshit. I mean, it wasn't bullshit, but it was bullshit that we won. But it was like, I don't know, man. He just like wasn't getting any of the catch and shoot looks or any of the pull up looks. It was kind of weird, but
yeah. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened either. But I don't know. Let's hope that Kai can get back in rhythm. If they play drop, he might score 40 points himself. That's why me and Liam put that in the way, because Kyrie's like obviously very capable of scoring 30 points without Luka, right? So if he
Yeah,
gets a drop, like it should be a 30 bomb, I think at least. Okay, we got a couple comments. Okay, yeah, Tommaso. We'll get to the comments after this. Let's see. That was my first play. Kyrie, I got 3 more plays coming, so feel pretty good about a lot of them. I mean, as you should, right? Like,
yeah.
if you make a play, like, yeah, I really don't like this one, but like I played it anyways. Okay, next one is Fred VanVleet over 13.5 points. Another team that plays drop for the most part. Detroit. This is obviously like a really low line for Fred. I get that. I mean, he hasn't even like really been that bad recently, right? Memphis is kind of more of a catch and shoot team. Portland, I don't know like what they are, but he didn't play good against them. It's fine. 13.5 for Fred, right? Yeah, it just seems kind of low, but Fred's kind of a guy who's like really reliant on scoring on the pick and roll. So obviously, if we go here, cool little new feature. It shows like what percent of his points and where they rank on Props Madness. Guys, code SB15 for 15% off every single month or the year. It's like 15. It's not even like 15% off first month. It's just 15% off. So code SB15. Make sure you use that. But yeah, Fred, 51% of his points are from above the break threes. Pistons, second most above the break threes allowed. Allow a ton of mid range, a ton of short stuff right here. They're good at defending the corners in the restricted area. Like Fred doesn't score there at all, so I'm not too worried about that at all. Pick and roll handler, they're ranked 23rd. Like I said, they play drop for the most part, especially Fred's like a guy who's like, if there's a drop team, like he's going to get the drop because he's really not that efficient. But if we go to versus play type and do, I think I use 17 to 30. Yeah, so 17 to 30, averaging 17.3 points per game. Obviously, guys, Pistons are like pretty smack dab in the middle of that 17 to 30 at 23. 11 over 16 over. Under came against Boston. They did come against Detroit. He shot 3 for 13. So kind of 3 for 13 and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. So he makes 2 free throws, or that's like 9 points. Then he makes another 3. That's 12, and then shoots like 5 for 13 and 2 for 7. He goes over. So I mean, and he can only make, yeah. Let's see, that's 14. Okay, making sure I'm not screwing anything up. So the volume was there. He just shot terrible against Detroit. Yeah, just really, it makes like a really big difference for him whether he's playing a team that plays drop or not. Basically, by these numbers. So, like, what if we flip it and do? Oh crap! What am I doing? If we flip it and go 2 to 16, he's only averaging 13 points per game. He's under 9 out of 22. So, just very reliant on the pick and roll.
Yeah, I think he should be able to attack that pick and roll well. Something I found interesting, like a little trend lately, is the Pistons haven't really been giving up pull up shooting threes, surprisingly.
Oh really?
Yeah, like look at the last like performances from like the main pull up 3 shooting guys.
Let's see.
Let me see.
I know Booker and Durant. They're not they're pull-up shooters, like 100%. They're not like how Fred. They don't play the same way Fred does, but they're both pull-up shooters, and I know that. I think
Yeah.
Booker and Durant both had really good games, but that's also like they're different players for sure.
And you got Tyrese.
I actually faded Tyrese that game. That
2 of
was like
6
first
from
game
3.
from a little. Let's see. I have this by position. Booker at 35.
Jalen Brunson 1 of 7.
Quickly.
Like something changed after that Portland game.
Let's see.
I think they were starting to play less. It was something like someone was starting to play less drop in that game.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe they. I don't know. I think that Fred's someone who should get the drop. Let's see. 3-point pull-up frequency. Oh yeah, Let's see. Where are the Pistons? Okay, so the Pistons have been pretty middle of the pack in frequency. Last 15 games. So yeah, maybe that could be a concern. I hope not.
It's about to like the last 7 games or so. It's like, I don't know, like something flipped, I think. Let me see what the stats are for last 7.
Oh yeah, it's not good last 7.
Yeah. Yeah, like something changed right after that Portland game.
Okay, well, I hope something didn't change. Maybe something did change. I'm still playing it. Obviously, I can't like take it away. Let's see. Oh, it looks like some people might be tailing. This shit's kind of getting juiced up. Yeah. Fair points by JJ for sure. I always like when people push back on my shit. Like I don't like it when people are like yes manning all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm rocking with it. I think that I personally like to use like last 15. Last 7 can be skewed, I think, sometimes by matchups. Like Durant and Booker, obviously they're going to take a ton of pull-ups. They're usually looking for the middies instead of the threes. Let's see. Yeah, who have they played? So they played. We can go just see who plays every game for the Pistons. Tobias. So they've played Phoenix, who I'd say they're more pull-up mid-range shooting. Halliburton, you'd like to see him get threes up, even though I did fade him this game because it was his first game back from a hamstring, and I'm like, oh, Hallie off a hamstring. I don't know what's overall pull-up frequency, because there's kind of a lot of like Booker and Durant are a lot of like 2-point guys. Like they'll pass up the pull-up threes to get into their spots in the middies.
Yeah,
that could be like pull-up 2-point frequency. Like yeah, if you look at pull-up 2-point frequency, they're 5th over the last. I guess that's the last 50.
Mm-hmm. And that's where Booker feasted.
Yeah, Fred.
But it's just the pull-up threes. That's like the trend that they're taking away.
Yeah, so maybe they are. Maybe they've been doing that. Yeah, who knows? Like I said, I think I know if I was coaching a team, I would, and my team, my big was more comfortable in drop. I would play Fred in drop, just because like he's inefficient, right? Like a Fred VanVleet shot is like kind of a win for the defense. No disrespect to Fred, but like he just, I mean, I don't know what he's shooting this year. Let's see, Fred VanVleet stats. Yeah, I mean, the dude's shooting 33% from 3 and 38% from the floor. So, I don't know. Like I said, Jaren definitely is more comfortable in drop. They've been more of a drop team this year. And I think Fred is a guy who will warrant the drop. I could see I think what you're saying, I could see that trend applying to Jalen Green, because he's just been so good. But I hope it doesn't apply to Fred. Like I said, not a guarantee. Maybe they do blitz him, but let's hope not. Okay, speaking of Booker, I'm going to fade Booker because he's had a ton of cupcake matchups recently. Let's go to Devin Booker. Okay, cool. Last 7 games he's played. The Hornets were on Kyrie for this exact reason. The Hawks, they've just been a terrible defense in general. Like last 10 games, 4th most points allowed. They're not a good defense. He only scored 20. Jazz, they're like bottom 3 in defensive rating. Hornets, same matchup. Hawks, like I said, bad defense. Wizards, worst defense probably. And it was a close game. Like, dude, if you get a star in a close game versus the Wizards, they're dropping like 35 every time. And then Pistons, like I said, I'm on Fred. They're more so of a drop team. They're a good defense. They're really good at limiting points in the paint for sure. But like I said, I think like the pull-up shooting, I think that they're pretty susceptible to that, and that's why him and Durant had good games. So yeah, I think he just had a ton of like easy matchups. Like he's only averaging 25.6 points per game on the year. If we go down here, Cavs 6th fewest points per game to pick and roll handlers, 5th fewest above the break threes. They do give up the mids, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, Cavs really good against pick and roll handler. If we go to here, opponent rank versus play type. I think this is the filter that I used. So top half of the league against a pick and roll handler. Obviously that drops a little bit, 10 out of 13. But then also if we take away, I think I took away the bottom. Yep, bottom 5 in defensive. So if you take out the teams that are bottom 5 in defensive rating and bottom half of the league against pick and roll, obviously Cavs are 11th in defensive rating. They are 6th against the pick and roll handler. Now he's under in 13 out of 16 games. He's only averaging 21.5 points per game. I think Beal got upgraded to questionable. Usually that's a good sign for his availability when you go.
Yeah, he was getting some shots up yesterday, so that's a good sign.
Okay, good. Yeah, so it looks like Beal has a good chance of playing. And it's also just in Cleveland. Like, guys, the Suns are not a very good team, and Cleveland is a very good team. It's in Cleveland. So, yeah, I think that there is a fair chance of a blowout, in Cleveland. So I think that's another thing could be another out. But, yeah, as soon as I filtered by pick and roll handler, and then I looked at, like, the games you went over, I'm like, dude, these defenses suck.
Yeah.
So I filtered out the defenses that are really bad, and then the teams that are above average against a pick and roll handler. Like I said, Cleveland 6th against there, 11th in defensive rating. So I think this is a pretty fair filter. I don't think I'm really cherry picking too much.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. So
pretty much just varied out like all the super ass defenses, pretty much. Like the bottom 10 type of team. So
yeah. So yeah, kind of explained his recent hot stretch. I think it's like makes sense why he's been so good based off of the teams he's played.
Yep.
Yep. So that's obviously what's giving us a 27.5 line because, like I said, he's only averaging like 25 on the year. Yeah, with these filters, I don't know. I think this is a pretty fair look. JJ, do you have any thoughts on this?
I might play that one actually.
Oh shit! No, we actually won a collab yesterday.
We did. We had to sweat out a whole fourth quarter.
Oh, dude,
because that was a blowout.
We kind of got lucky when you look at the box score because he shot like 2 for 8 and had 7.
Yeah,
but also Peyton Watson.
He wouldn't have got those minutes either if it wasn't like all a terrible game.
Yeah. We also got unlucky based off of the game script and Watson. Maybe if Watson didn't get hurt, he would have got. Butler wasn't playing good. It's not like he like earned those minutes. It just like fell into his lap due to game script.
Yep.
So, yeah. You could say we got lucky. We could say we got unlucky. Maybe it cancels out and we just should have won, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think this is a fair look here on Booker. All right, going back to Detroit at Houston. And like I said, guys, this is my last official pick. Get some comments going. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, please. It helps us a ton. If you fuck with me, if you fuck with JJ, drop that sub button. If you find our content valuable or informative or just entertaining or literally anything positive, drop a like, drop a sub, and get those comments going for plays that you lean. So me and JJ can break them down for you. And yeah, just get those comments going, drop plays down below. All right, next play, Jalen Duren, over 8.5 points. So this one got a little bit juiced up. Bet365, minus 115. DraftKings, minus 125. Caesars, minus 125. MGM, minus 125. Flip, minus 130. All good lines. If you're at 9.5, you need FanDuel or ESPN. I think that 0.75 units is a good look. Anyways, so Jalen Duren, I filtered out. He had a couple games where like terrible minutes. So I'm going 14 plus. That's 14 feels like an absolute worst case scenario, right? With 14 or more minutes, he's over in 24 out of 36 games. And if we go to Houston is just so good at limiting the 3-point line that like by default, they're going to give more points up in the paint. Obviously 12th in the restricted area, 19th in the the non-restricted area paint, I believe is what it's called. So Houston allows the second fewest threes. They're gonna stick to Hardaway and what's his name, Beasley, like glue. They're gonna funnel or run guys off the 3-point line, force stuff into the paint. They're definitely more of a paint funnel, and then they limit the threes. And then if we go down to the play types, like putback, they're pretty good against that, but not like amazing. Transition, not amazing. Cut, they're not going to be great against cut, just given that they do allow, they're okay in the paint. Pick and roll, man, 23rd, so that's good for Duren. Free throws are fine. Like honestly, everything this is like a fine matchup for Duren, right? Like this line is priced like how Houston is overall as a defense. But the truth is, against bigs, against people in the score in the paint, like Sengun's their rim protection, right? Like he's not a good rim protector. So yeah, I just don't think like I feel like this line, obviously given the hit rate, given his points per game, it's priced as if Houston's like a terrible matchup. And realistically, it's just like a neutral matchup, like for a big man who scores in the paint, who's a roll man and stuff like that. Like it's just really not that bad of a matchup. If we go to last year head to head, last year head to head, this is like I think this head to head defense is relevant. Still coached by Ime Udoka, still anchored by Alperen Sengun, really the same roster pretty much. So very similar stuff here. 12 points and 15 points, let's see, in 22 minutes. And then in 32 minutes, he had 15. That was without Cade, to be fair. But Cade's also like a good passer who can definitely give Duren some easy buckets. So, yeah, 32 minutes, 15 points, 22 minutes, 12 points. So good prior success against them last year. And same defensive scheme. Like Houston was limiting spot ups and stuff last year. They were a pretty good defense. And obviously still coached by Ime, like I said before. So, yeah, just didn't think I would end up playing Jalen Duren. But I do think that this really isn't that bad of a matchup, and this line is implying like a terrible matchup.
Yeah, I think honestly it's set perfectly to just take the over here. The last couple games, 8, 9 attempts, like they're definitely trying to get him a little bit more involved as long as he stays on the floor. It's like the key thing. Duren just needs to stay on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair, bro. And he's guarding Sengun, who definitely flops a shit ton, and so that could be a concern here for sure. Which is why I went points though, and because I was thinking PRA, right? The hit rate's pretty fine. Hit rate's actually the exact same, but what JJ said, him getting the foul trouble is definitely on the table here, and if you're concerned about like minutes, because when I went here, right. Rebounds and assists, or not rebounds and assists, just rebounds. Because I was actually thinking PR. Like he's only over in half the games, and it's definitely not a good rebounding matchup. Houston's like pretty tenacious on the glass, like 4th fewest or 7th fewest rebounds allowed. Like he'll be guarding Sengun. Like I said, he could get into foul trouble. So I think it's better to leave the combos off and just roll with points here. And
yeah,
that's kind of why I'm suggesting to go with 9.5 points with like 0.75 units over. Because if you go to 9.5, it's like what the hit rate? That's 7.5. If you go to 9.5, the hit rate's like a little bit worse. Like when it goes from 24 out of 36 to 22 out of 36, but it's still like fine overall. 10's a good flat number for someone who doesn't shoot threes. So, yeah, always risky betting on Jay Duren, but we'll see. All right, JJ, do you have any off the top of your head? Oh, shit, I almost just like pinched my fucking pinky. Off the top of your head, do you have any like games or props that you've kind of like took a glance at that you want to go over?
I have not, but Chicago and LA could be interesting for I think role players back to back. They may like Kawhi's already out. I'm curious if the Clippers rest anyone else.
That's actually a really good point. Because I remember seeing yesterday, I think Zubac, Powell, and Harden were all questionable.
Yeah.
And I think teams do that where they list guys questionable so they don't get like any sort of fines the next day when they want to rest people. So that's actually a really good point, dude.
And it's a late game, so I'm pretty sure they don't even have an injury report out yet.
Yeah, and it's like a game that makes sense to rest people, like against the Bulls, like play them against the Lakers, let them go all out. I think they ended up playing pretty big minutes.
I think
Zubac, yeah,
so because the Lakers they came back like late in the or early in the fourth quarter, end of the third quarter.
yeah. So 40 minutes. So let's quick check. So yeah, Harden played 40 minutes. I'm gonna quick check to see who was all listed questionable because that's actually like really good stuff, JJ. That's like some valuable stuff. So
And neither team has an injury report out yet,
yeah,
so that'd be interesting.
yep. Zubac was on the injury report with a back issue. Harden illness, and Powell with a back issue too. So I really do think that someone is going to rest here. How would
I
you
believe so.
how would you approach it?
I guess. All right. So who'd you say was questionable last game?
Harden, Zubac, and so Kawhi's already out. Harden, Zubac, and Powell. So I think it's fair to assume that at least one of those guys sits for sure.
Yeah. So maybe a Kevin Porter Jr. type of game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, he likes to pull up and get to the rim, but with Chicago's defense, it also sets up the drive and kick game. So could be like a PA game possibly.
Yep. So let's see. With Powell, with Harden, without Kawhi, 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 13. Because I don't want to I don't want to suggest like a prop to someone that like is like cooked if everyone ends up playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But KPJ is definitely the thing is with KPJ is that like he'll smash this line if like one of those guys gets ruled out. Well, if Harden
Yep.
or Powell specifically. But are you making a great and just like the back-to-back thing in general might be a good boost, right? Because even if they do play, it's like okay, well they played like a million minutes last night. Let's give them a little bit of rest. So, because this isn't like a terrible line, right? But like with Powell, with Harden, it's like he's still averaging 15 PRA, and it's against the Bulls, who like I mean, just beautiful matchup for anyone with who's gonna get pick and roll usage, like as a scorer or even as a passer, because I know they're really bad against the pick and roll man too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this would make sense, dude, and you could like this prop based off of like hit rate and stuff right now, and he played 6 minutes. He's not gonna play 6 minutes. Okay, I don't think he's also. Let's see what's. Okay, so all these minutes are pretty fair. Okay, I'm giving him as his floor. I'm giving him 12 as his floor. I think that's fair. Okay, filters out one game. Now you got 15.7 PRA average, close to 50% hit rate, and like I said, this could end up being free money with if one of Powell or Harden gets ruled out.
Yep.
So JJ, good shit. I think this is a gem of a find here.
And then on the other side of things, Kobe White did get hurt towards the end of the game yesterday.
Did Lonzo play?
Lonzo, I think, is still out.
Io, I know, came back from injury from like an extended absence recently. So I could maybe see him missing. Levine is just like kind of been an injury prone player in the past. And I'm sure they want to shop him at the deadline, especially with how good he's been playing.
Yeah. Okay. So Lonzo looks like he may most likely play because okay, so they listed him as rest last game because back to back. So he probably plays today.
Yeah, for sure. But I think you're onto something with Kobe, maybe even, and then Io too. Like I do think that someone gets rest here.
Yeah.
But I think the Clippers thing, just like the writing's on the wall almost. Like we're kind of just guessing with the Bulls, but I think the writing might be on the wall with the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
I feel like it would make a lot more sense with Kobe White sitting if he just sits out the last 5 minutes of the game because of an ankle injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense too. So Giddy stuff, I don't like them. Clippers are a really good defense. If a couple of the guards are maybe going to sit or a guard's going to sit, Giddy stuff is a little bit interesting. Like this is just a really
Giddy
low
like a RA or PRA.
Yeah, because he needs, dude. If all the guards are going to play, Giddy's really like not going to do shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
He needs the ball in his hand to like do something unless he's gonna fluke out and hit a ton of threes. Okay, we do have some plays coming in. Let's see. Back-to-back Johnson. Okay. We can go to Jalen Johnson. I think that Jalen Johnson stuff is actually I think we were talking about if Cat's gonna play or not. Yeah. So Tommaso, we said so with assists. This is super juiced, but 3.5 feels like a great leg to use for Jalen Johnson. It just kind of feels like a wrong line almost.
Mm-hmm.
Rebounds and assists, really good stuff too. Knicks are a great rebounding team. Like they do allow the fewest rebounds, but there can be a little sneaky edge if what Liam said. If Cat plays, then Capella and Onyeka are in really brutal rebounding spots. So I think that's why we didn't answer the question, is because we were waiting. If Cat gets ruled out, it's a go for RA. But if you have a good pairing, like what team is going to win today? Cleveland? I don't even know. If you have a good pairing, I think Johnson 3.5 assists is great to pair with that. Just like something that like should be a easy winner. Collier rebounds and assists. Do you have any more input on this Jalen Johnson one, JJ?
I mean, not really. I feel like before I went to bed last night, just everywhere was posting Jalen Johnson props in general.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's going to be popular regardless. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, he's done well against them like all season, right?
Mm-hmm. And he played 38 minutes in his first game back. So clearly he went to overtime. So maybe he got a couple extra from that. But
at most, like you take 5 minutes away, he's still playing 33, which is like there's like really no restrictions for him.
Yeah, for sure. And then second game back too. Yeah, Tommaso, I think that, yeah, like I said, rebounds and assists make sense if Cat sits. If not, it's still a fine play, but Cat sitting would definitely make it like 10 times better. Collier, rebounds and assists. So Isaiah Collier was one of the legs for me and Liam's parlay. And yeah, so Collier, I mean, he's been getting a ton of, like 11 is like if we just look at his assists, right? Like this is ever since basically this Hawks game, like 8-16, 16, 8 assists, didn't register potential, 17, 13 with 10 assists, and then 16. So he played 35 minutes last game, no Colin Sexton. He played 27 minutes without Colin Sexton and with George. I don't know if he's going to play like the 27 or the mid 30s, but I think it makes sense for sure. Matchup is still good. I mean, he had 18 against the Pelicans, right? Pelicans give up a ton of assists, ton of rebounds. So, yeah, I think it's a good play. Yeah, I mean, every game with 26 plus minutes, he's had at least 11 rebounds and assists. And Magic, brutal matchup. Clippers, brutal matchup. Suns, that's fine, but he's one short. So, yeah, Pelicans. I like this, Tommaso. JJ, what do you feel about Jared Allen stuff?
Jared Allen, check real quick. Yeah, so no Mobley. So how many games does he have without Mobley? So points, he's over in 2 or 3, so PRA or points. So PRA, so it's both over 2 out of 3. I mean, those 2 overs were like in great matchups too. Bulls and then Wizards.
And then Big Rudy clamped his shit.
Yeah, he just shits the bed there.
But still did 36 minutes. And then 36 minutes, 33 minutes. So sometimes he plays dicey minutes, but if we can get like 30 plus.
Yeah, 30 plus is typically what I want to aim for. But as you was talking about earlier, there is a chance for blowout.
Yeah.
So if he gets his minutes cut. But what's the rotation look like when he comes on and off the court when Mobley's out?
We can check.
Let's see, January 18th. Because I know it changes.
So he played a 6-minute stint to end the game. So say he doesn't get that 6-minute stint, then that would have put him at 30 minutes too. So 30 minutes seems like close to a floor unless he plays such bad minutes that, or unless the game's such a blowout that he doesn't even get like a 4-minute stint to start the fourth.
Yeah.
So 30 plus feels safe.
I would agree there.
So the one variable is that the Suns, like, yes, they've been getting absolutely killed by centers. But is Nick Richards going to change that? Is Nick Richards going to make a difference? I'm not sure. We have a 1-game sample size, and it's my boy Jalen Duren. Let's see what Jalen Duren did.
I feel like he had a good game.
Yeah, 15, 10, and 2. So that's in only 25 minutes. That's a really good game for him. So yeah, Nick Richards, like, he's a fine player, dude, but I don't think he's like some crazy upgrade on defense, especially. Like, let's not forget.
I think it's more offensively right now, but I mean, they really need help defense, which is the problem. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah, let's not forget that Nick Richards is like was a backup center for Charlotte. Like, I don't think like a massive difference maker. So yeah, Jared Allen stuff. I would go PRA. 15.5 feels a bit much, to be honest. Yeah, so if a gun to my head, I had to make a bet. I would go PRA.
Now, are they going to start Nick Richards?
Rebounding.
Or are they going to start Plumlee again?
I mean, they said that they were. They said that. I remember there was an underdog tweet that said that they were about to start him, and then he played 29 minutes off the bench in his first game and went off. So, I mean, I would be pretty surprised if he didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tommaso, I think Jared Allen stuff's fine. KD 27.5 points. So yeah, I'm on Booker's under, and I kind of forgot to mention this, but another reason why I kind of like Booker's under was because isolation, Cavs are dead last, and yes, like that can be fine for Booker, but Booker only scores 6% of his points via isolation. KD's all the way up at 15, so KD's like the ISO guy on this team over Booker, and they'll give up those middies too. So they're clearly fine with like letting guys isolate and shoot mid-ranges. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. I doubt that they throw bodies at KD, but with that being said, 27.5, I don't like the number.
I don't like the number, especially if Beal does come back.
Let's go to with Booker and Beal, especially in a game with a little bit of blowout potential. Yeah, like with Booker and Beal, like this line just feels kind of spot on, to be honest. Maybe if it was like 25.5, I think we could start talking. But 27.5, I think I'll pass. Tyler, this is what I was deciding between this and Duren under points or over points. So I really like it. You can even get a 12.5 at DraftKings. I think this is a filter that I was using. So his minutes have been good, like 31, 30, 35, 32. It just second against off-ball screen or spot up, first against off-ball screens.
I think it's frozen on James Harden right now.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, yep, I'm on my Safari Props Madness tab. Crap. My bad, y'all. That's a sell by me. Good looks, JJ. So yeah, Tim Hardaway. Yeah, so if you get the 12.5, especially, I mean, we can filter top half of the league and spot up. Take away some of the shitty teams in defensive rating because Houston's number 4. Let's do 1 to 20. Yeah, I mean, look at this shit. It's a great bet. Even 11.5, still a great bet, I'd say. Like I said, I will say he has, maybe we can take away, I'd say like 20, maybe, because I could see Detroit maybe getting blown out in Houston too. I think that's on the table. We could even do like 24 plus minutes. Still good stuff in my opinion.
It was something I was definitely debating taking.
Yeah. Because Beasley, I feel like Beasley's line is like fair, you know?
Yeah, they've adjusted his minutes.
Yeah, that's weird. 25, 26, 18.
He's had like a really weird rotation, like the last 4 games, I think.
Yeah, minutes have definitely been down for Bees. But still, I feel like Beasley's line is adjusted and like Tim's isn't for the matchup.
Exactly.
So yeah, Tim makes a ton of sense for an under. Let's see. We talked about Jalen Johnson. We lean over on both assists and rebounds and assists. Mark Williams. Honestly, it kind of depends right now. Lively's currently questionable, and Lively is a massive upgrade over Gafford defensively. Mark Williams assists. I mean,
Six potential last game.
Mark Williams assist actually does make sense because thing is he's played 33 minutes, obviously hyper competitive game, both of them, 36 and 33. Maybe you project him for like 32 minutes.
I mean, 3+ potential assists. He's done very well.
Is that what he's had recently?
Yeah.
And the thing is with Mark is that he's actually been so good on a per minute basis. So he's averaging 3.14 assists per 32 minutes this year. And yeah, especially at this Bet 365 line, it's a weird line. You'll be like, why the hell did I bet it if it loses? But I think that definitely actually makes a ton of sense. And even PRA, maybe he's playing out of his head a little bit. But let's see, all these are unplayable lines. So you'd have to do like 30.5. But I mean, dude, per 32 minutes, numbers have just been pretty ridiculous. Let's see, 32 divided by 22.4 times 25. So he's at 37 PRA per 32 minutes. He has had some cupcake matchups like the Suns twice, the Jazz, the Bulls. Played the Wizards a few times. Yeah, I'd lean over. So I think that assist one's sneaky good too, to be honest. JJ, I'm going to let you answer this one. Derek Jones, PR.
I mean, I guess all it depends if someone sits out, right?
Yeah, I think Derek Jones would be like. The thing is, I don't even think if you're looking to jump the gun on someone being ruled out, though, I don't think Derek Jones is the guy to do that with.
Yeah.
Because he's like a kind of a no usage spot up guy.
I feel like he really depends on one of those guys playing. Let me see.
Yeah, he almost like needs like Harden to play to like generate him open looks and shit.
Because he's gone under in both games without Harden. Let's see. What about Powell? So he plays a little bit better when Powell's not playing.
Which makes sense, I think.
Yeah. Because, I mean, James Harden does most of the creating for the offense, so it makes sense.
Yeah, to be honest, I also don't. The only people who I bet overs against on the Bulls are people who are involved in pick and roll actions because they're actually pretty good against spot up and transition. Weirdly, and the thing is, I know that they weren't good against these earlier this year, so that means that they've actually been trending up pretty significantly against those. But if you like, yeah, I mean, pick and roll handler 26th, pick and roll man 30th.
Lively's out.
Who is?
Lively.
Oh, okay. So that's good for Mark Williams.
So, I mean, in that case, I'd take the over probably, right?
Yep. Okay. Screen share isn't working. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Oh, so you check the rotation from popcornmachine.net.
I also use NBA rotations.info.
Okay. So two different sites. It's valid too. Let's see. I also see Garland points for the matchup. JJ, what do you think about Garland? Let's see. I can pull it up real quick.
Garland Suns. I mean, yeah, drop coverage. He should be able to feast here.
I don't like the number, to be honest. 21.5.
Yeah,
I guess he is averaging 21.2. I know Mobley, but
I think people are I've seen someone take his threes,
which makes sense. A ton. Yeah, I don't know if I don't like the number, to be honest. 21.5. Garland's like an 18.5, 19.5 guy for me.
So I mean, 3 games without Mobley, 18 attempts, 17 and 19. If you look at 3-point attempts, we got 7, 10, and 10. So I see why they took threes. It's at 2.5. Wow,
Yeah.
minus 120.
I think that's a good. Yeah, I agree with this.
I might have to play that.
Yeah, that's a good line. Yeah, Bulls matchup was definitely good. Wizards matchup is definitely good, and Wolves is actually good for pull up threes too. So 3 good matchups, but Suns is like another good matchup. So
Suns are allowing the highest pull up 3. Oh, yeah, all right, I'm about to play that then.
yeah, official for me 2.5 threes.
Yep.
DraftKings minus 120. Is that what that's what we rock?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Pull up my little Word doc.
Okay, so official play here from JJ. Good stuff. Always good to. And who was that who put him on? Let's give a quick shout out to. Was that Tommaso? I think. Yep, Tommaso.
Yep, it was. I appreciate you, Tommaso.
Yes, sir. Shoto said he likes Garland today too. George under 22.5 points.
I need to check injuries for that one. Let me see.
Sexton's out and Markkanen
Sexton's
and
out.
Clarkson and literally everyone. So yeah, his per 36 minutes are going to be pretty ridiculous, I bet. He just scored.
They're playing New Orleans.
Yeah.
Should be a pull-up matchup, right?
He had really good volume against New Orleans. He only played 27 minutes and he got up 20 shots, 5 free throws. I would say that's pretty efficient for Keontae, even though it's like 44% from deep, 45. But I would
fuck. It's one of those games where they play back to back. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I do too. Pelicans won though, and they let Keontae go off, so maybe they let him do his thing again.
Yeah, because I think I played Bryce in that game.
Oh yeah,
But they're not going to post his lines until late.
Was that a winner?
I believe. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, Keontae, I would stay away. I think so. I'm pretty sure he's kind of like playing an off-ballish role with Collier running the show. So it's actually, so if he's not even going to be getting a ton of pick and roll reps and he's going to be more so a spot up, like off-ball screen guy, I think the volume kind of makes sense because the Pelicans do tend to creep Misi up a little bit in the pick and roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would stay away from.
It's funny. I did point out Keontae last game too when we were on the show. It's kind of funny. But then I ended up going with Bryce once I saw their lines. Yeah. So Bryce 6 of 12 shooting, 15 points. His line was at 14.5 when I played it last time. So he's probably going to get up to like 18 field goal attempts with Sexton being out. So I'm curious what his line's going to be at.
This is actually kind of interesting. I just looked at this. Keontae didn't have a turnover against the Pelicans, and he didn't have a turnover. I know we said we're looking at Collier.
Really?
But I think that kind of speaks to his off-ball stuff, right? I mean, what was his assist? Only 4 potentials in that game?
Yeah, he's going to be – I'm pretty sure he's going to be a little bit more off-ball with Collier playing.
Yeah, so this could actually be a sneaky edge. Keontae under 3.5 turnovers. But the question was Collier turnovers. I never really look at this shit. I guess opponent steals, opponent turnovers last 10 games. Pelicans do a fair job forcing them. GTA. Unfortunately, Jose Alvarado comes off the bench because that could be a little edge.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. I think that this is a fair set line, especially with the juice, Tommaso. Kyrie points and PRA, Jacob, you beauty. That's already a play. So, yeah, great pull-up matchup against the Hornets. They play drop for the most part.
Yeah. I would lean PRA over points.
Yeah. I think the assist could be there with the catch and shoots they give up to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay, so a ton of people said Lively got ruled out. That's sweet. Do I lick? Do I lick? Sorry, it's before I finish. Do you like Kyrie? Yeah, Twizzy, yeah. Kyrie, an official play, is one of those for me. So, yeah, my plays were Kyrie, 35.5 PRA. I feel like Kyrie's about to just start getting steam. Just like I can sense it by all the questions that people are asking.
Mm-hmm. You want to do your quick breakdown of Kyrie?
Yeah,
Someone
might
just
as well.
asked.
Let's see. Yeah, because dude, this shit's filling up. Holy shit! I didn't realize we have 970. Shout out y'all. Yep, Andrew. Reasoning for Kyrie. If you've been here the whole time, you probably already heard it. So apologize for that. But yeah, Kyrie. Let's see. So without Luka, hasn't been great this year. Let's be honest. He played OKC twice. Brutal stuff. Denver, brutal because they're putting Jokic up at the level against him. He went over. That's brutal matchup with how they scheme against ones. Rockets, brutal matchup, and they were blitzing him in this matchup, and like Rockets usually don't blitz at all. So I mean, he's had a ton of terrible matchups, dude. But like last year without Kyrie, I totally get this roster is probably a little bit better. But I mean, man, like he was killing this line. 38 plus in 6 out of 7, average 44.1. Then if we go here, opponents shooting and stuff. Last 15 games. This is pull-ups. Kyrie's obviously going to lead Dallas in pull-ups by like a wide margin. Like especially without Luka, that's like what he's doing. Second highest frequency last 15 games. Most field goal attempts. Fifth most makes. And then catch and shoot stuff. So they're giving up a lot of catch and shoot stuff too, which I think could be good for his assists. And even Kyrie, maybe he comes off a screen or something. But yeah, a ton of catch and shoot stuff. So they're really just only protecting the rim. Maybe that's bad for like PJ, someone who's not a consistent shooter, who's reliant on slashing Anaji too. And yeah, I just think it's Kyrie played 39 minutes against OKC last game. So if you were concerned about a minute restriction, I don't think there should be any concern there. So yeah, just holy shit, this shit's getting steamed down, dude. 33.5 now at DraftKings for his PRA.
Minus 115. Sheesh.
Why I like the rebound aspect? I don't like the rebound aspect. I mean,
in most excuse me. It's most games without Luka, he's had double-digit rebound chances, which is good. I think what is this, like only 3 games without Luka this season? He hasn't hit double-digit rebound chances.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I didn't really factor the rebounds, and I just saw 39 minutes last game, and I'll just like add all the stuff together. Okay, what is going on, dude? Because it's at 35.5 now. I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, I gave it out at 35.5, so I like it there. And yeah.
So his rebounds is at 4.5, right? I mean, if he gets double-digit rebound chances, it looks like he's going over. He's over in 6 and 9 without Luka, and 9 of 12 overall in the season. I mean, they're going to play fast pace, most likely, Charlotte. So, I mean, should be a lot of shots going up.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Luka just be snagging like uncontested rebounds all the time and shit. He's
Exactly.
just like Luka just sits in the corner and like makes everyone else defend for them. And then, and then like grabs a rebound so he can get the stat. Fucking Luka, bro. Okay.
PRA with 10 plus rebound chances. So the 35.5 PRA. He's over in 8 of 12.
Sweet.
That's in general. Without Luka, 5 out of 9, but still, tough matchups as we talked about earlier. But I think that's interesting.
Yeah. I also added Kyrie 30 plus points for a 2-legger lay. So yeah. Think his ults. Like if he gets drop coverage, dude, he's scoring 30. I think at least. Hornets money line. I think the Hornets keep it close. Like Hornets at home. This is like something weird. I don't think the Hornets have actually gotten blown out at home with LaMelo. I mean, let me go check. I think I like once was just like randomly looking at that shit, and I was like, have they ever got blown out at the crib? Let's see. Let's quick filter out these games. This is like such like a waste of time. Okay. This is JJ. This is how I used to bet. I used to go to Basketball Reference and then just like check out shit. Okay, so LaMelo at the crib. Yeah, their worst loss was to Boston by 13. So
That's not bad,
yeah, so
especially the Boston early on.
Yeah,
the Boston as of late is it's been very mid.
Yeah, and holy shit. So Kyrie just opened up at 37.5 at MGM. That's weird. Yeah, Andrew, we appreciate you, dude. All the comments and stuff, it helps our show just like run way more smoothly. So we appreciate you a ton for just dropping comments. And if you guys are here, because we do have a pretty big audience right now, we're at over 1,000 people, which is awesome. Yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, if you would just drop a like, drop a subscribe, it really does help me and JJ out a ton. We're trying to grow this, trying to make something out of this, and yeah, just you'd be surprised with how much like a little tapping of a button, of a like button, of a subscribe button would go with helping us reach our goals with content creation. So yeah, especially if you guys appreciate the content, like I said, we would appreciate if you did that a ton.
Check out Porzingis points and rebounds, 25.5.
KP. So seems like a pretty low line, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's in Golden State. He does have 2 games where he got hurt too. So it's he always it's Kristaps, so wouldn't be super surprising if he
say 20 minutes. He has to get a minimum of 20 minutes, right?
Yeah. So this is honestly like realistically, if this game isn't a massive blowout, like he played 23 there. So this is only 14 plus minutes, and he's over in 13 out of 16. We could do like 25 plus. Okay, 25 plus, then you get 12 out of 14, which he should be. I would project him to be around. Let's see, so 35 in the last competitive game, then 23 in a blowout. I'd say like around and 34 too. So I'd probably put him at like 31 minutes.
I think they're going off his minutes from last game, which is kind of funny because he does his usual rotation. He starts the fourth quarter, but he only played like 2 minutes max because of blowout. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, this is just like an outlier game, right? I mean, could the Celtics blow out the Warriors, especially with Steph kind of banged up and Notre Dame on, like for sure. It is in Golden State, which I think would help the cause. Let's see, spot up. So they're really aggressive on pick and roll ball handlers. Like they blitz them all the time. That's good for like a Kristaps who is never going to be a pick and roll handler. Spot up is good. Like I said, post up is fine. No Draymond definitely hurts. I don't know who's going to guard him. Like Trace, Jackson Davis. That's barbecue. Rebounds.
Yeah, he ain't got the size for that.
Yeah. He can. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think you can really argue much with this hit rate. Just like, just don't get hurt, Kristaps, and he's hitting at an 81.3% rate this year. I guess
I think you just got to play it off principle that like this line is just too low.
Yeah, and then with so I just did with Tatum and Brown and White. Then it's 9 out of 10. To be fair, he is kind of like always like flirting right around it. Like he has some like 27s, 26, 27, but still. And this game was his first game back from injury, I believe.
Yeah.
So only 23 minutes there. Finished a couple short. But yeah, I think this makes sense. Michael, I don't know. If you're basing it off of Mark Williams is definitely not eating up usage. Like he's a pick and roll man. He's like really good at it. He's a really good lob threat, really good at like attacking the glass. Mark Williams is not like 20%. I guess his usage has been good, but Mark Williams isn't getting like plays ran for him. I don't think really. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched the Hornets, but just knowing how Mark Williams plays, I don't think he's a big reason for that.
And you can't always expect LaMelo to shoot 1 of 9 from 3 as well.
Yeah. Dallas, the matchup, they are a little aggressive on pick and roll handlers. Pretty good in transition. But I guess they switch a lot if you look at the isolation stuff.
And he does
So
get set
maybe,
up for a lot of catch and shoot threes too.
yeah. Well, he just yanks that shit, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's the best matchup in the world. Let's see who probably PJ or Najee guards him. It is kind of a high line. There is no Brandon Miller though, which is like without Brandon with Miles. He's had a couple games. Yeah, it does seem a little bit high. I probably wouldn't play the under though, to be honest. JJ LaMelo rebounds and assists. Do you have any input on that?
Let me check it real quick.
So you just blindly looking at it. 12.8 rebounds, assists on the year, 13 out of 27. It's pretty juiced.
I mean, he's getting the potential assists. I guess it just depends on the rebound chances, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like last game was just an outlier for his rebound chances.
I think Mark Williams playing big minutes might be bad for his rebounds because he's been a monster. And he's just sitting in drop. So like when you're playing drop, you can just like dominate the glass.
No, that's true.
Yeah, Andrew, to be honest, I wouldn't play this over if I'm going to be honest with you. Like the assist matchup is fine. I think it's like pretty neutral. You can maybe make a case that it's a little bit good, but
like I wouldn't say it's gonna miss, but because I think it can hit, but I just don't see like an edge.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, like I think it's a fair line.
Yeah.
Trying to craft a way to watch it work. Hell yeah, dude. That's actually funny. Yeah, I mean, anything else? Is there something that you really like for this Hornets game, JJ? Josh Green revenge game?
Could be.
They do give a fair bit of spot up.
So with LaMelo, without Nick Richards, without Brandon Miller, with Miles Bridges. That's the only game. So let's take out Nick Richards.
That's what I'm looking at. It's 4 shots.
I mean, he's getting decent volume. It's not terrible. But I noticed one thing when they all play, like all the shooters for the Hornets, like he really doesn't shoot anything, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So when Brandon Miller comes back, I'll probably be looking at an under for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Josh Green, man. PJ revenge game. I don't like it, to be honest. Like I said, I think it's going to be a big Kyrie game, so I'm just not going to touch. Well, it is a good catch and shoot, but PJ, yes, does he catch and shoot? Yeah, but he's also like kind of paint reliant, and like the Hornets, like I said, if you're giving up all those pull ups and catch and shoots, you're probably not giving up much in the paint.
Unless it's off drives, because their center defense is ass.
9 3 points in the paint. I don't know, man. I think PJ is a fine line as well. Dinwiddie. Okay, is there any last questions? We've been live for over an hour. So JJ got on stream and gave out Darius Garland over 2.5 3-pointers made. You want to just give a little summary for that?
Yeah. So let me click on this real quick. So threes without Evan Mobley, 7 attempts, 10 attempts, and 10 attempts. Let me see if we look at 7+ attempts this season. So 7+ attempts, he's over in 16 of 22 games, as a pull-up shooting matchup against the Suns, who allow the highest pull-up 3 frequency. Obviously drop coverage, which is why. I mean, if the volume's there, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. Should get the looks.
Yep, I think it's a great bet. 100%. Great matchup. No Mobley, definitely going to give him some more volume. And we could even do this, right? Like let's do play type, bottom half of the league in pick and roll handler. That right there gets it 12 out of 19. And then we could go to opponent ranked versus zone. We could filter out. like bottom 10. Then you're at 10 out of 16, averaging 3.3 3-pointers. Volume boost due to like no Mobley as well. So yeah, that minus 120 price is like really good.
Yeah.
So obviously I touched on the Kyrie thing. I also played Fred over 13.5 points. Duran usually plays drop. Jimmy and JJ talked about how maybe JJ mentioned that maybe Duran hasn't been playing as much drop, which is a fair
He's
point.
still been playing drop, but I have to watch more film.
Yeah.
I just been like, I noticed something right after that Portland game, because I think Simons went for like 8 of 10 threes, and I remember I think I played him that game too.
Yeah, that's a fair reason to stop playing drop. But anyways, my thoughts behind that Van Vliet thing too is that Jalen Green's been so good that he might not get dropped, but Fred is like literally shooting 38%, 33%. Like I think they're going to be fine with him shooting. And if Duran's naturally a drop big, that I think Fred gets the drop. And his hit rates against like bad pick and roll defenses, which Detroit has been for the year, because obviously Duran usually for the most part plays drop, and it was just like ridiculously good compared to like against bad pick and roll defenses. Booker under 27.5. I could quick, we're on the game, so I'm gonna quick just run through the filters I used. But play type, Cavs, 6 best against pick and roll handler. We go to, I think, bottom half of the league I used. And then also, let's see, defensive rating. So take out like the bottom feeders and like terrible hit rate, right? Just 21.5 points per game, under in 3 out of 13. He's been on a heater against absolutely cupcake matchups: Hornets twice, Hawks twice, Jazz, Wizards, Pistons, who may or may not play drop, but I'm gonna say for my argument that they do. It's also just like in Cleveland, right? They could get blown out. Suns aren't very good. Beal should be back, so yeah, Booker. Booker under 27.5 points. I think it's a great sell high. And then Duran over 8.5 points was my final one. Just good hit rates on the year when he isn't a complete klutz. I think I've used 14 plus minutes. Let's see. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Oh, that's Jalen Green. Jalen Duran. Let's see. 14 plus minutes. Yep. 14 plus minutes this year. Jalen is over in 9.5. I moved to. It was 8.5. Still a couple 8.5s out there. Caesars, MGM, 365. 24 out of 36 hit rate. Really good stuff. Houston, obviously, they allow a little bit in the paint. They're much worse in the paint, and then they completely shut down 3-pointers. So, yeah, big time paint funnel, even though that they're a good defense there. But, play types are, pretty neutral. So, yeah, just they're going to shut down Hardaway's water, Beasley's water, all that stuff. Last year, same coach, pretty much same personnel for both sides. But especially Houston defensively, they're doing the same shit. 12 points, 15 points. So yeah, line just priced like it's like a brutal matchup, and I think it's like a completely fine matchup for Jalen here.
Okay. So do we go live? So me and Ty, well, I mean, my goal right now is 5 days a week at least, Monday through Friday. We'll mix in some Saturday and Sundays, depending on what I got to do. But I mean, Ty, you're gonna be live every day, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I'm every day. I was every day. Maybe I might take like a Sunday off here or there, but yeah, 7 days a week. And then me and JJ, we start our stream at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time, and then before this on Monday through Thursdays, me and another dude who's a part of Straight Betting, Ozbets, Liam, we do Monday through Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we're 2 days, Monday through Thursday, and then me and JJ on Friday, and then myself on the weekend. So yeah.
Is the schedule pinned on the Straight Betting account?
Yep, it is. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, follow the Straight Betting account, and yeah, everything will be right there for the schedule.
Yep, for sure. Yep, on the ticker too. It's like, yep, at Straight Betting on Twitter. I'm gonna start scheduling posts. I did that last night. That just like gives like a 15-minute, we're going live, and then like when we go live and like the YouTube links there and stuff. And then obviously this comes through on my Twitter feed. Just we might start doing it. We probably should start doing it on our Straight Betting Twitter, to be honest. But I guess it's just like egotistical almost. Like, oh, I want to like have the viewers high, so I put it on my account. But we probably should start doing it on the straight betting. But for now, it's also on Twitter at Tyvan Klinger, which is just my name. So
yeah, I think maybe start it next week, at least like build a consistency up that mean you are here probably or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so hopefully we just keep on growing. Like I said, we are at 1,100. And honestly, JJ, that's all you, my guy. Because I know if I would just lie by myself, it'd be like 400, 500. So let's go. Clouded up
Hey,
JJ.
the more the better.
Yeah, clouded up JJ's like getting straight betting through the mud. Yeah, Andrew, we appreciate it. Definitely going to tune in. Glad I found y'all. Appreciate that a ton, dude. All right. Is there anything else you want to say, JJ, before? Tommaso said, and now let's cash. Yes, sir, Ski.
I was going to say the same thing.
Let's cash.
You know, great minds think alike.
Hoops. Midday, all day hoops for sure. Do you want to plug anything, JJ? Might as well. We got 1.1K people in this thing. You're in Dr. Profit's shoes? You guys
yeah, we've been doing our YouTube. I think we got, what's the official channel? I always call it MC Analytics.
Yeah, I know JJ and Doc cashed some good shit yesterday.
Well, it was the day before. You know, Mark Andrews wanted to sell everything yesterday, so.
Yeah, if you guys are football, make sure to go check out MC Analytics, I believe you said.
So Masterclass Analytics on YouTube. And we have an account on X as well. But I mean, every like primetime game for NFL, we've been posting the video there. And then I think once the football season ends, we'll try to figure out some ways to do some YouTube videos for basketball as well. So until then, stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. What's your last thing? If you guys do want, like I said, if you look at the little ticker below, I do have a Discord. It's literally $1.50 a week. It's really not shit compared to especially what everyone else is charging. Honestly, I'm not trying to be like egotistical, but let's see. I'm 157 and 104 for 47.12 units, 14.6 ROI this year in NBA. And the only reason why I'm not charging more is because like literally, like I feel bad when I lose people money, and like inevitably I'm going to go on like a drought. And in the past, I've like really crashed out because I was
all the elite cappers go on a drought eventually.
Yeah. So like when in the past I've went on droughts and like borderline crashed out, bro, because like I was just like, fuck, dude, I feel like a piece of shit. Like I can't believe I'm charging people a lot of money. So it's $1.50 a week. There's a free trial, wap.com/props from Prime. Probably need to switch that. That's my old Twitter name. But yeah, $1.50 a week. It's a free trial to start. You can literally cancel it whenever. So like if I start sucking and you get the free trial, you can leave in a week, not pay anything. You can pay $1.50 and leave, and then like another week, pay $1.50 for all my plays. I do a lot of late ad stuff, and a lot of these lines that, to be honest, are pretty stale by the time we stream. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's some decent stuff. When are you gonna make a premium shoot soon, JJ?
Or we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, keep growing on Twitter.
I need my luck to turn around first for that.
Go on a little heater.
Yeah.
Heater starts today once DG just comes out absolutely blicking shit. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it. I think we touched on everything. Like I said, one last reminder, if you guys are on YouTube, like and subscribe, please. It just helps us out a ton. And if you appreciate what we do, just, little like and subscribe goes a long way. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Make sure to tune back in tomorrow. 7:30 a.m. Eastern time with me and Oz, and then 9:45 a.m. Eastern time with me and JJ once again. So, JJ, pleasure, and good luck to everyone on their bets today.